Good evening. My name is Eugene Peterson, and I'm chair of the Anne Arundel County Human Relations Commission. In 2020, we were statutorily put into the county constitution, which basically means that we do not have to wait on who the county executive is to get the commission started. It's part of the county laws. Also, we've been given a variety of responsibilities in the last couple of years. In 2019 or 2020, we were given a responsibility when the county council passed housing discrimination legislation to be the commission to address alleged housing discrimination actions and complaints. And we not only can help to resolve them through mediation, but we can, if that doesn't work, we can bring people in for a formal hearing. We have subpoena power, and we also have power to levy fines. In the last legislative session, I believe, either 2024 or 2025, we were given additional responsibility to address alleged complaints about public discrimination in public facilities. That's restaurants and other public establishments, arenas, meeting places where the public can participate. And we're working with the Office of Law to get similar complaint forms like the ones we have for housing that are both in English and translatable languages. We finally were also given in that legislation employment discrimination responsibility. That's for people who allege employment discrimination, with the exception of county employees who are still covered by county law in terms of discrimination complaints. In general, we are a commission that strives to meet the present motto of our county, to make Anne Arundel County the best place for all. And that means that any perceived discriminatory actions, we will seek to address and to be a vocal voice in saying that we don't stand for any kind of hate, bias, or discrimination in Anne Arundel County. Having said that, I'll now go and Secretary Daydoni, you have relinquished your responsibility, correct?
As of
The February
December
meeting.
of last year.
Yes. So I will call out the roll. You can say present when I call your name. Commissioner Daydoni.
Present.
Commissioner Gaskin.
Present.
Commissioner Michaels.
Present.
Commissioner Sorrow. Present. Okay, did I miss anybody? Don't believe I did.
Commissioner Newman.
Oh, Commissioner Newman, I apologize. Commissioner Newman.
Present.
And
Thank you.
Commissioner Peterson, Chair
And
Peterson.
Commissioner Peterson, present. Thank you all. We do not have, it says January, but it was really February meeting minutes. We don't have them. And this brings me to the item of most importance from a statutory responsibility. We're supposed to have a recording secretary. So anybody on the Zoom call right now can elect to nominate themselves, or if you want to think about it, I will send out a general appeal to the commission. These meetings are put on YouTube, so you can go and look at them and get any additional information that you need. If you want to follow some examples, both former Secretary Hatcher and former Secretary Dadoni have provided minutes that you can look at. They don't have to be extremely detailed, but they have to definitely reflect any actions that the commission takes. And you can talk in general terms briefly about any presentations that are made before the commission. So having said that, is anybody willing to step up to the plate for secretary? Not hearing any self-nominations. I will send out an email. This is extremely important that we fill this. And if I have to personally call each one of you and beg you to do this, I will do that. Okay, so we've gone through the consideration of the approval, which we don't have, of February minutes. I'll try to put something together for all of you and call for a nomination of a secretary, which will be sent out to all the commission members. The next item on the agenda is a discussion, and this discussion is prompted by a video of racially charged contact with a campaign worker for the Pete Smith campaign for county executive. And I sent copies of all that to you so you all could see that vile video, hear the words that were spoken. Since that time, I have been in contact with the council chair, Julie Hummer. I live in her district, who has said that the council is discussing what to do. She had spoken with Councilman Smith, and he was fine to just let things go with his video and move on. I told her in no uncertain terms that I felt I understand his position. I understand that it's a campaign season. I understand it's a tightrope. I know he has children. I know that's a consideration too. But I think that when something like this happens, the council as a whole, whether they be elected Democrats or elected Republicans, need to speak with one voice. This is not about elections. It's not about politics. It's about right and wrong. And this was definitely terribly wrong and despicable. So I told her that that was my opinion. I had not talked with the commission, but we would be talking about this issue tonight. And I told her that was my view, and she could present my individual view to the council and talk to Councilman Smith, and she said that she would. I believe that in addition to a resolution, it would be nice to see the Anne Arundel County Council, the Annapolis City Council, the mayor of Annapolis, and the county executive have a press conference and say, we're here today because this has to end. We can't have this kind of behavior in our county. We're better than that. And I think things like that have an impact on the public. So those are some of my thoughts, and I thought I'd open it for discussion to hear what commissioners feel and what I could do. It's finally, it's been recommended to me that one of the things I could do as chair of the commission, and I would run this through Director Smith, is to write an op-ed that could go to the Sun and the Gazette that would present the collective view of the human relations commission and what we feel is how to make Anne Arundel County the best place for all. Having said all that, I'm opening this up for discussion. Any thoughts of what we should do? We can also, and one last thing, when George Floyd was murdered, a couple of council commissioners took it upon themselves to put together a statement. It's on our webpage, and also to put forward particular pieces of legislation, which were not passed, but were suggested for the county council to take up so that this incident, this murder that happened in Minneapolis, would not occur in Anne Arundel County. So that's another thing that we could do. Having said all that, I'll be quiet and listen to all of you. Commissioner Daydoni.
I believe that the incident, which is well documented and appears to be easily traceable to a source, has been reported to both the Anne Arundel County Police and through our county complaint system that went up a couple of weeks ago.
That's correct.
I want to comment on your statement that we're better than this. No, we aren't. This is us. And I'm very sensitive to this because shortly after Dr. Bedell came here, there was an incident at one of the schools, and I forget which school it was. I forget which school. And the principal said, we're better than this. And that just broke the hearts of all the Black kids and their families that had been there for a long time because they knew we weren't better than this. It was turning a blind eye to a reality. I don't know how we change individuals, but I have a lot of faith in when the police go out there, as they have to do when they get a bias or a hate report, whether it's a crime or not. They show up and if they can find the perpetrator, they talk to the perpetrator. I think we have two things to say. One is we denounce this. And I know people need to hear our voice because I was on the phone with Carl 30 seconds just because I'd happened to call him after Pete called him. This hurts badly, and we have to say, we hear it, we see it, we recognize it. It is not okay. We denounce it. And then we use what we can to make it very uncomfortable to be such an unpleasant person out loud in Anne Arundel County, hence calling the police. That's the best I can come up with. Now, there will be at some time a little part of my soul that says, pray for the poor person. That's for me or you, whoever wants to do. But as a commissioner, I protect the county.
Okay. Commissioner Michaels.
Thank you, Commissioner Peterson. So I agree with Commissioner Daydoni. I think we need to denounce this. Commissioner Peterson, you said that, we should craft a letter to go to the various mayor, county executive, the other HRC groups, possibly in the county, or if they're in other towns besides Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. I also think it wouldn't hurt to put the state HRC on notice, the group that overlooks the OEHR or that we participate in. But I remember from doing, as we are working on our orange goals and strategic plan, that one of our goals is to educate. And I'm going to sort of tie in education and marketing. I think we need to maybe put a full court press on, as Commissioner Daydoni said, is we see you. So the way we see you is to respond with some in-service programs or some opportunities to, go beyond teaching commissioners, hate crime and hate biased programs, but open it up more into communities. Maybe have small programs in the library. One of the things that disturbed me about the video that I was wondering is, was somebody walking with this person? Was there another person with them so that they didn't feel alone and, uh, that there was somebody else there with them that they were able to walk with. But I think that it's a good opportunity for our organization, the HRC, to open up some educational programs that are a little more bold and forward leaning into this issue with some education and plain words. Like we know that there's hate speech and hate crimes and hate biases out there. Here's a perfect example of it. We're going to step up our programming to address this. So I just think it's an opportunity for us to really come at this harder and push out some programs. We have great people in the OEHR that can help us and guide us, like Dr. Nikki and Director Smith, that can tell us, how this could happen. And even if it's in small groups, maybe like a little board meeting room at one of the libraries, and we're there to have a discussion and to listen to the people. But yeah, I've been the bearer of hate speech and bullying, and so I think we need to just jump on it. So, letter, sending it out, making a statement, uh, interacting with the different political organizations and figures, and getting out into the community, and maybe targeting that neighborhood by hosting something close by, or seeing if there's a neighbor that would host something, or aware that this kind of thing is happening in their neighborhood. So like a little townhouse meeting or something to this effect, but not letting it lie, but just getting on top of it. And we can start simple and work our way into more complex programming. But I think we need to throw some of that educational programming that we talked about in our long range plan by doing something. Actions speak louder than words.
Okay.
So I wanted to kind of piggyback off of Commissioner Michael. I know when I first started with the commission, one of the things that was a popular topic at the time was CRT. And the Human Relations Commission coordinated a discussion at, I believe it was the Annapolis Library, where public was introduced. We had guest speakers that was knowledgeable in CRT, and it allowed people to really have a discussion on how how people felt about it. And it was a really good discussion. It was a great discussion, a matter of fact. And I feel like with the climate of which we are now in, that I agree. I think that we should go to the area of which it took place or nearby. I was looking at Crofton Library and maybe potentially hosting a discussion, getting to the neighbors out there and asking, are they aware of the incident? Do they want to meet to talk about it? I don't know the perimeters or the limitations we would have, but I think the letter is good. It's good to have something, but I think we need to start having some open dialect too. There's a lot of built up frustration, a lot. So, my only concern is that it just may be one-sided. We may just get one population of people. I'm hoping not, so that, we can hear both sides and they can hear us, so. But I'm with Commissioner Michaels about doing a little bit of outreach.
And if I could just follow up on Commissioner Hatcher, So exactly, go into that neighborhood where you're saying Crofton Library. About the publication of it, the marketing. It's we get it on the Instagram, we get it on the Facebook, we get it on the YouTube. We don't show faces of attendees, but we make people aware that this is happening in their neighborhood, so that you know things start.
He froze up.
There that live in that area, they know who does this type of stuff in the neighborhood. They know who's doing this. So the idea is that them discuss it. The thing that I've learned personally is that when all this nonsense is going on and then it gets hit the state, I do look to leaders to just say that they're going to fight against something, whether it's racism or fact that, all these different things. When they start speaking up, it emboldens me to be a little bolder myself. And I think that if a neighborhood, a town, a city, a county sees that we are doing the job that we have been, that we are been assigned to do, which is to stand up for those that can't stand up for themselves. I think it helps other people to be a little more confident and bolder, and concentric, close by, and we work our way out.
Anybody else have any thoughts on this? I might say I believe that Crofton has an association. I live in the Russet community. We have an association. They have an association. I think they also have a meeting place like we do here at Russet. So one of the ways to, I think, pull the community in would be to contact the Crofton Association, say we're interested in doing this. Would you like to co-sponsor it with us? And we could either have it at the library or have it at your association. I think they have a hall or something, but that would be one way to include that community if they wanted to be included.
Chairman Peterson, I can reach out to the library just to see availability on rooms and things of that nature, capacity, and
Okay.
lateral to reaching out to the Crofton
All right,
Association.
fine. And I'll look into the Crofton Association. Commissioner Newman?
Yes, I agree with that. All the panelists, the commissioners that spoke, that something we need to stand for something. Councilman Pete Smith works in my district, so it's a little concerning. And I would also, once we address this area, to address the northern part of Anne Arundel County. Sometimes it's left out with just addressing the Annapolis section. So maybe if we could move a little further towards the Glen Burnie, Brooklyn Park area, because we also have a lot of issues that need addressing. Thank you.
I'm thinking of all the times we've done this.
Pardon? Whoops.
I have a quick question. And I think Commissioner Daydoni, you had said something too, so I can wait until after you speak.
I'm thinking back to the number of times I'm going to say we've done this, but the we I'm thinking of now is probably a combination of the NAACP, CAL, and the United Black Clergy. We did it when the nooses were hung, and I was deeply involved in that. We did an Enough is Enough rally. That was probably 2017 in downtown. I remember a large town hall at United Methodist Church in, I think it was Glen Burnie. I remember 2 or 3 meetings going further north up towards the county line, but not Brooklyn Park. I think Brooklyn Park is a really important place to get to. It's forgotten, it's overlooked. It's the most difficult of the difficult, I have been told. And when things were going on at Southeast and Chesapeake High, generations. We've got 3 generations of one family. The grandfather was in the first class there. The grandson was 4 or 5 years ago, and they all got the same stuff. I don't know if our just keeping on saying no is enough, but I think the families need to hear us say no. Not okay.
Anybody else?
I was going to ask the question. I remember some time back there was, and I probably missed it. I'm sorry, everyone. I was late coming from work, but isn't there a hate bias group that was set up that oh boy, I can't remember exactly where they were based out of, but there was it was during the time when one of the churches had some racial slurs or something written on them, and it was a hate and bias group. I don't know. Director Smith, can you help me remember? It was a while back.
I don't remember a group. I mean, we have, in our office, the hate crime prevention program that, was funded through the Shepherd Bird Grant, but I can't remember.
Maybe it was that. Maybe it was that. Maybe it was.
Yeah, it might have been that, we applied for this grant funding. There was also some training that was done. You might be thinking of the Protecting Places of Worship training that was done. It wasn't a particular group. It was sort of a number of stakeholders that got together to do a training around protecting places of worship.
Okay.
That might be what you're thinking of, but the only thing I can think of is the team that we formed in our office, when we applied for the grant.
Okay, because I recall us, and I won't spend too much time. I know we have a lot on the agenda, but I recall us maybe wanting to try to get with this particular. Oh man, I'm probably gonna have to go back to some minutes. But okay, all right. Sorry, thank you. Sorry about the.
All right.
Action.
Let me try to summarize what I think I've been asked to do and what others have volunteered to do. On the volunteer side, Commissioner Hatcher has volunteered to call the Crofton Library to see what kind of space and hours they have, so that if we ask them if we could have a discussion at the library, what that would look like. Commissioner Michaels has talked about taking a number of different steps, and I think if we're going to do that, the easiest way to do this would be, in my opinion, you got the Bush Library in Annapolis. You've got probably a large library up in the Pasadena, Brooklyn Park, whatever area that you could do one. And then you have probably another large library down in the South End. And if we were to do that, we could take the presentation that we would do in Crofton and whatever experts we would have, I would imagine it would be the Anne Arundel County Police, because this is a hate bias incident, alleged hate bias incident. And I put alleged in quotes because it is one. And that would be a way to do that in a way that would touch different areas of the county, as Commissioner Newman suggested, that sometimes we don't do those kind of things in a way. So I guess I'm going to ask Commissioner Michaels, can you do a little research? We've got the Crofton Library, and then we've got the Bush Library in Annapolis. But what library would we go to in the north end of the county that would, as Commissioner Newman said, not be so far that people from the Brooklyn Park area, which is close to Baltimore, not be too far for them to go. Could you take a look at that for me?
Sure.
I'm going to suggest that we.
And what did we identify?
Hello?
I'm not sure that any of the libraries are going to be in the middle of the place where the people who are affected are going to be. There's nothing down in South County that's big enough. We have more room at the West District Police Station, which is available to the public. We have plenty of churches. We have community centers. We have a Severn Community Center, in fact. And I know, Renee, you'd listed someplace where people can walk, especially Brooklyn Park. That's just our assumptions of availability of transportation and time.
Noted. Yeah, noted. So what I'll do is I'll do the research close to the area using some of these suggestions, as Commissioner Peterson said, and then I can report back via email through our commission email. And yeah, no time like the present. So I'll work on that over the weekend, and we'll get something back to Commissioner Peterson. We'll make some decisions, and yeah, the sooner the better. I don't think we need to let this lie. And we need to take action around it. And I also think going forward, we had that great Unity Day down Southeast or South County, and we've done a few other programs. And then I think we take a breath and we think, okay, we've done our part. But I think what I'm saying is I think we need to have ongoing process, whether it's every couple months or every couple weeks. We use the churches, we use the community, we use, politicians, we use whatever to be able to be in that area. And I'm almost thinking break it down into sectors. The county is broken down into townships or villages or cities or whatever. I don't know. I'm the kind of person I think will identify every place and go to all four corners and everything in between, only because I think this raises to our responsibility as an HRC. To me, this is the highest thing that we need to be doing, is educating and being open, aware, and listening to our community. And there's too many things happening from the outside world that's coming in, and we can't, and it's hard to keep track of it. But if I think we put ourselves on a schedule like we're in training, I think we might be able to really get to the center of the issue, in my opinion, of course. So.
Okay.
But I'll research this and get back.
Okay. And
I just have one comment. So I don't have an issue with training and going all over the county, but right now, because we're being very reactive to what happened, and I know that our strategic plan is trying to make us more proactive and to plan stuff out. So my question is, okay, these discussions to what end? Because we could get into a room and we could have both sides, right? And they're just yelling at each other. And so then what comes out of it? So, if I'm going to go to something like that as a resident, right, not as a commissioner, but as a resident, okay, I'm going to go to here, then what are we going to do? Okay, this is what we know happened, right? So we're informing you, we're the HRC, and we're going to, we denounce things like this, and we're informing you to make sure you know what's happening, what's going on, and we hear you. Okay, so then what are we going to do? So we're going to go there, and it looks like we're looking for availability. So it seems like we're trying to do this like right away. But I think that we need to make sure that we go there with a plan. That we're going to listen, but then what are we going to do? What are the next steps? I don't think that we can just go into something and have a people in the room and then not have something to give them. Because then we're doing the same thing over and over again and becomes cyclical, right? And so nothing happens. We have these discussions, and then what? And I think that we need to be very careful about going and being reactive like this and bringing people together and then not having a next step or, okay, we hear you, so then this is what we are going to do. That's my only
So,
comment.
so can I just
Yeah,
say
I
say
think that
something
that,
right quick?
yeah, go ahead.
I think part of it was like, at least like with seeing like locations and areas was a part of the planning, not to necessarily start scheduling anything right now, but just to kind of start getting different pieces to start the planning. The goal would to be to educate and to allow a conversation to happen. I know, we've had the police department come in and they could provide resources. They could provide, if you see something, say something, contact information, and just to kind of just show a presence that this is something we just, it's just unacceptable. It's not just to like, I wouldn't think to have it like next week, because we wouldn't have enough time to get it all together. But, just to start getting some, who would be available to attend? What would be some of the topics that we could cover in discussion, and maybe, I don't know. I think that's the way CRT was done so well. So I know Director Smith had a lot to do with coordinating. So we could get some of her tricks of the trade. But I that's how I kind of figured it would go.
Yeah, and CRT, it was like a specific topic that we were educating on. Okay, so I just want to, I'm just making that comment to make sure that we don't go in and we set ourselves up for failure because we didn't have it. Okay, then what after that? Because the worst thing you do is bring a group, a community in that's hurting, which a lot of us are hurting right now, and just to have us talk and then nothing comes out of it. So we can educate. We're going to educate about the HRC. We're going to educate about what the hate crime, hate bias stats look like in Anne Arundel County or in your area, and then what? That's all I'm saying.
Mhm. Good point.
Yeah, and I hear you, and I hear you, and sorry, but the Zoom keeps going out. I don't know if anybody else's is, but mine is, so I apologize for that. This was never about not making a plan. This was about making a plan and working the plan. And to me, the whole purpose of having a commission is for us to all weigh in on the best way to handle that. We have a couple experts in our OEHR office. We probably even have a couple experts on this commission. And this is plan, looking into some locations. This isn't about going into a meeting and having a free for all, but there is a listening part of a meeting, and then there's presenting an issue or a problem, and then it's bringing experts in or having guest speakers who can address these type of things. But it's also about being present. And what I'm looking at is that we were present and that we do it on a continual basis instead of just, reactive about this one incident. We do some stuff around it, and then we sort of go back to normal. And there's no more normal to me than something every day that's going on.
Right. So I just think that what Eugene started off with, the one thing that we can do immediately is to get something out to make it known, how we feel about this as a commission.
And
Agreed.
I will begin to work on that. Hopefully I can get it done tomorrow. I'll send it out to all the commissioners, and I'll of course take your input, and then we can put it on our webpage. We can get it out to the media, and I think it's 650 or 700 words. You can do an op-ed with the Baltimore Sun and whatnot. So that might be part of that too. So I'll commit to working on that tomorrow. Oh, Commissioner Sorrow. Sorry.
That's okay. Sorry, and I've got a cold, so hopefully you can hear me, all the squeaking. I just wanted to sort of piggyback on what Commissioner Gaskin said about having a definite plan and goal in mind for any meeting that we might have. I absolutely agree. We should have a statement out. We should get a statement out that this is unacceptable, and that there needs to be accountability. It needs to stop. There needs to be a plan to prevent this from continuing to happen. But to the extent we're going to have a meeting, I personally don't think there are two sides to this. There's right and wrong. And I really don't think that we should be giving a platform to wrong. And I'm concerned with the level of people are emboldened right now. And they do think that, you know, for lack of a better way of putting it, that there are good people on both sides. There are not. There are not. There are not good people who spew the kind of vitriol that that man spewed last week at Pete Smith's campaign worker. There aren't two sides to that, and so I would just be very concerned about platforming anyone who would come in and say that that's a valid point of view. So I just want to put that out there.
Good point.
Commissioner Farrell, I just want to just kind of counter a little bit, because someone has a difference of opinion, and how they go about it, whether it's deemed right or wrong, doesn't necessarily mean that they shouldn't have a way to vocalize. Of course, we're not agreeing with this guy, but there's some people who may feel frustration and maybe not reacting the way this person did, but would like to, for whatever reason, have a means to talk about why they feel a certain way. And I don't think as a commission we should say who's able to speak and who's not able to speak. I just wanted to add that point. I think it should just be open, because at the CRT there was people that was for and against, and everyone had their opinion and was able to be heard and listened. I just wanted to add that.
Right. And I understand, I completely hear what you're saying there,
Mhm.
but in terms of platforming, I understand people may be frustrated, but that is the way that person exhibited his frustration was not frustration, it was hatred. And I personally don't think that is a valid opinion. That's not an opinion. That is an aggression. And so I just, you know, and obviously minds can differ on this, but I do not think we should platform that as a side that is worthy of platforming. I do understand where you're coming from, though, Commissioner Hatcher.
Okay, Commissioner Daydoni, do you have?
I'm going to try to summarize it, in part because at this point we do not have a secretary. So correct me if I've got this wrong. We appear to have agreed by unanimity that we want a statement that this is wrong. We condemn it, and whatever else you put in, to come out and then go public within the next week. To be written, drafted initially by Eugene, voted on by email by us, and then published as soon as possible. Part one. Part two, we commit ourselves to examining a plan for taking ourselves around the county to impacted communities, to hear them, to show ourselves, to again say, this is wrong, this is what you can do about it. Now, what more we do, that's all part of the planning, but we commit to doing that, and that we will plan it thoroughly with a clear eye to both audience and outcome, audience need and outcome, and then the logistics of it. Have I summarized where we have arrived?
I think so.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, it's been a good, fruitful discussion. I appreciate everybody's point of view, and we will get moving on this. Thank everybody who agreed to volunteer to do a piece of this activity. The next item on the agenda will not be presented tonight because of the hate bias conference on Saturday. Dr. Nikki and her crew are busy helping get that set up. And so we will have those statistics in March. And maybe by then the county might catch up, so they might have some, I don't know if it'd be year end, but some yearly statistics. Okay, our next item is the Executive Commission Strategic Plan. Correct me if I'm wrong, Commissioner Michaels, but we were to do a SWOT with I think it was the director of the Conflict Resolution Center in Anne Arundel County. She had a medical emergency in her family. She couldn't get someone in the short period of time to fill in for her, so we were not able to do the SWOT. So we're waiting for a date when we will meet as an executive committee and go through the SWOT and then present the results to the commission. Is that about it, Commissioner Michaels? Okay.
Eugene, hold on a
Yes.
second. He's having trouble connecting.
Oh, okay.
Where
But
is he? I'm trying to
but
find him. Okay, I
anyone
just
else who
want,
attended the
yeah.
executive committee meeting, does that pretty much summarize it?
Yes.
Okay. So we should have something to the commission hopefully in March after doing the SWOT exercise. Okay, I'm going to ask Director Smith to help us with the Unity Day activity, because you can tell us, since we don't have Dr. Gillens with us, what the school district is planning and when will that activity happen?
Sure. So Unity Day is going to be in March, and the commission first, let me say, good evening, everyone. And I'm sorry that I'm not on camera. I'm having some tech issues with the camera in my laptop, and so I'm unfortunately off for the evening. But this commission has expressed an interest in supporting Unity Day and collaborating with the school system to support students in their communities, and has done so for the last few years. I was asked at one point to find out what the theme for this year's Unity Day in the school system is, and it is around social inclusivity and combating social isolation. That is what the school system is going to be focused on. I do think that obviously, the type of Unity Day activity that we've had in the past, I think this commission indicated that there was a desire to reevaluate whether to have that kind of a community day, and the decision was to do something else. After hearing from the students last year, there was a desire to incorporate some of what the students on the Student Equity Advisory Team brought to light in their discussion with the commission. And so, I would say that if the commission wants to do an activity that is aligned with Unity Day, the date for that, I want to say it's March 19th, but hang on. And we don't necessarily, usually I don't believe the commission has done it on Unity Day itself necessarily, but I believe that it's the week of March 16th is my belief. I would need to double check that, but it is in March.
Okay, so again, what I'm looking for is any volunteers who would want to work with Dr. Gillens and Director Smith to, and anybody else who's interested to talk about what we could do. Last year we did a Zoom, I believe, with the SEAT group, and we talked about these issues. And maybe that's something that would be valuable to replicate, but we need to talk about that. So anybody want to volunteer? Commissioner Michaels?
Well, raising the hand was not to volunteer, but possibly.
Yes, sir.
There's possibilities all the time. Director Smith, March 19th did I hear you say March 19th?
I need to double check. I don't want to be wrong about that. I think it might be, did I say the 19th or did I say the 17th?
Anyway, March 19th is the kickoff of Maryland 250 and Maryland Day, which is a Thursday. So that day, I would be surprised if schools are not participating in Maryland 250 because there's 1,000 programs happening across the state for the 250th celebration, birthday, all that kind of stuff. So maybe it is the 17th. That's what I was raising my hand about. If
I'm going to
there
look
is
at the
some,
ACPS calendar and confirm the date.
It's the 17th.
Yep, sounds great.
Thank you.
Okay, any volunteers to work on this? Okay, not hearing any. I will send out an email and ask for volunteers to help with this and see what we get.
Me, I will volunteer. Lisa.
Pardon?
Commissioner Sorrow will
Oh, Commissioner
volunteer.
Sorrow, okay.
Yes, I will volunteer for that one.
Fantastic. Thank you, Commissioner Sorrow.
You're welcome.
Now you've been asking for volunteers and I've been dodging all night, but I want to go back one level to planning what I called our road trips. Wrong name, but you know what I'm talking about. I would like to volunteer for that.
Okay.
And not just planning them, but the logistics and carrying it out and volunteering, to set up tables and buy and bring water and that sort of stuff.
Okay. You should, you and Commissioner Michaels can work on that together, I believe.
That okay with you, Commissioner Michaels?
Yes.
And I
Great.
also can volunteer for that as well.
All right. And Commissioner Hatcher
Thank
too.
you. I think we
Thank
got
you.
a convoy.
Yes. Okay. I was approached by Commissioner Daydoney about a march or rally. I think it's around the governor's mansion, protesting lack of governmental response to President Trump's racist post of the Obamas as apes, which I think we've all seen in the national and local media. And I was not on the call when this happened, so I asked Commissioner Gaskin if she might, since you were there, and Commissioner Daydoney, you were also there, if together you guys might give us an idea of what this looks like. Commissioner Gaskin?
Yes. So the caucus is sponsoring a Good Trouble March on March the 7th. And March the 7th is the anniversary of Bloody Sunday. It's Bloody Sunday. And that was a march from Selma to Montgomery when they turned on the protesters on the Edmund Pettus Bridge. And so they are going to march starting at Mount Calvary United Methodist Church, which is on Broad Boulevard. And the march starts at noon. and they're going to march down to the governor's mansion. They're inviting all elected officials in the state, county, and city to come and to have they can have a few words or statements about what's going on, the state of race relations in this country, what the president did regarding former President Barack and Michelle Obama, characterizing them as apes and other things of that nature. And so that's going to happen on March 7th. This is Saturday, starting at Robb Boulevard, at Calvary United Methodist Church, down to the governor's mansion, and it's supposed to last until 3 p.m. And so they're asking as many people as possible to come out in solidarity for against what he did most recently and all the state of race relations in this country.
What
Okay,
time is
and
it
we
going to
would then
start?
be asked to endorse this, I would think.
I'm sorry. Yeah, there's 2 questions.
Yeah, what time does it start?
It starts at noon.
Okay, so I took the original call from Carl before he announced it, and he wanted us to support in some way. Consider whether or not that should somehow be a sentence within the letter, or a separate statement of support that could be just sent to Carl, in which case it would be publicized. I would be delighted to march as a Human Relations Commission.
Okay,
Eugene, I am saying that knowing that I have severe spinal degenerative disease.
right.
I'm going to need a walker. And I have found, because I've done that walk 6 times during the Poor People's Campaign, that very walk, a wheelchair is a pretty good walker. I would be honored to push you if you would like to be with us.
Okay.
I would also like to participate, and so I can assist Mary with pushing you if it needs to be.
Okay.
And do we record this at least on these video for the future secretary to record that we are in unanimity about supporting, and we will arrange offline, and we'll name somebody here as a coordinator to get as
Right.
many commissioners together and identifiable as a Human Relations Commission as we can?
Yes.
Do we have somebody to volunteer to do that organizing, or is it time for me to volunteer again? Renee, thank you. Thank you.
All
so
right.
much.
Fantastic. Thank you, Renee.
Renee's not volunteering to lead it. She's volunteering to be there. But right now we have Lakeisha, we have me, we have Renee, we have you, Eugene, and I'm seeing other people going.
I'll
So I bet
I'll
we're
be
gonna have
there. I'll be there. I don't have a Loca with a heart on my dog's head, but I'll bring her too.
Okay, but a little, we'll give her a vest.
Yeah, she'll definitely wear something.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in.
All right. At this point on the agenda, we have a report from Director Smith. Director Smith, do you have?
I actually don't have anything significant to report today, except that we have our conference that will be held tomorrow and Saturday. We are grateful to the commission, obviously, for supporting and sponsoring some of the meals for the conference, and look forward to seeing all of you who will be in attendance there on Friday, Saturday, or both.
Okay.
Thank you.
Commissioner Hatcher, do you have anything from your liaison work with the?
Yes, I have nothing to report. I have not seen any meet and invite. So I don't know. I know there's a change of leadership happening. I haven't seen any. I don't know if when they're going to be meeting next. But
Okay, so they haven't picked a chair yet.
I don't, not to my knowledge, no.
Okay.
Would there be any objection to my contacting or asking you, Commissioner Hatcher, to contact the Annapolis Human Relations Commission and see if they would want to walk with us on the March 7th walk and rally?
I sure can. I sure can. I can get with Commissioner Gaskin to get all the information. I know she said it, but just so I can write it down and I can pass it along, yes.
That'd be great. And I'll call the former head of the commission, the Annapolis Commission, and he'll send me to the right person.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
At this point in time, is there any new business or announcements that individual commissioners want to make?
Commissioner Michaels here. I believe that we are going to reschedule the SWOT analysis because there was a conflict. Am I correct, Director Smith?
You are correct about that. And we are in the process of rescheduling with the CRC. If they're not available, we do have one other resource that we're going to check into, but we're hopeful that the CRC will be able to complete it.
Thank you.
Thank
So to the commission, we will reconvene if we can get that, because that's the next step in the series of work that we're doing for the strategic plan. So that's sort of a little report.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, hearing none, I'd move for a motion to adjourn.
Whoa, I didn't say I didn't have anything more to say.
Pardon?
I do have a question, if I could, a point of clarification.
Oh, sure.
Thank you very, very much. I think I direct this question to Director Smith as the person with the most knowledge, and also knowing the boundaries about what we should and should not consider and should not be said at this point in the investigations into the biased speech, the hate speech towards the campaign worker. I heard in that an explicit death threat, which makes me think that takes that closer to being a crime. I am not sure. Are you willing to offer any thoughts that will help me clarify my understanding? Are you in a position to do that?
I would need to listen to the audio again, because there's a difference between, unfortunately, people sometimes say things like, I could do such and such to you. I could, and they follow it up with whatever we would constitute as a threat, right? And that may not be the way that it's necessarily interpreted as a threat under the law, right? I will is something very different. I will and moving towards something, towards someone is also different. And so the facts really are important. I did not memorize. I heard the section of the statement that you're talking about. But I cannot say that I remember it with enough clarity to offer an opinion on whether it was a threat that is actionable. The police are investigating it, and I'm sure that they will have, an opinion and be able to clarify what their position is on that. I think they're going to be the best source of information. Just as general information, I'd be willing to offer an opinion, but I would need to hear the audio again.
Okay, thanks. I'll see Dr. Nikki tomorrow. I think on Saturday we have a session on First Amendment rights and hate bias speech, freedom of speech and hate bias speech on college campuses, which stems from the presence of, I'm sure, the Keep David group at Anne Arundel Community College several months back. And they were recorded and they said things that many find vile, that did not rise to the level of hate speech or any crime. I did not find that that language was threatening the way my ear heard the thank you very much, Chanel. The recording from last weekend. I suspect that both of those are going to come up in the Saturday session from the audience.
I think that that's likely.
Okay, I'll just want to make sure that everyone's ready, anticipating that. Okay, thanks.
Okay,
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
okay. Motion to adjourn made by Commissioner Hatcher. Is there a second?
I second. I didn't adjourn it. I think it was Commissioner Michaels.
There's a second to the motion to adjourn by Commissioner Hatcher. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, it's unanimous. Thank you all. Been a good meeting, good discussion, and I'm very hopeful because we left with things to do. So thank you very much and have a good evening.
Thank
Have
you,
a good night,
Commissioner Peterson.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.